I've got some superb news from members of parliament from across the country who have come together and told me we deserve our own YouTube channel for Cyrus Says. It's called Cyrus Says, the new YouTube channel, and it'll have obviously Cyrus Says and Cock and Bull, which is Cyrus Says' stepbrother. So that's separate, just for you on a new YouTube channel. Please, guys, it's coming soon. Stay with us. Your lives will change forever. You will never be hungry again. Uh, maybe, maybe not. There are people in our country, by the way, this is Cyrus Says, who are very different from the rest of the country. They don't like to work. They're always just doing their own thing. And this is my rant, actually, which is only about themselves. And they spend most of their time trying to avoid any sort of physical activity. And yet, some of these people are vaguely successful. And I can't bear that thought. And that's the reason why I've got one member of that tribe to come on the show today. We do have a person exactly like what I've described, lazy to the bone, does as little as possible. His very biopic, I'm told, is how not to move if moving at all is required. This is by the one and only Kunal Vijayakar. Please understand he spells his name with an A, as in it's not a Kunal Vijayakar, but it's Kunal Vijayakar. And that's very important to him because people who really know him know that, and people who don't know him well enough don't bother about that and just presume it's Vijayakar. This is the only time he gets up and points his finger in your face. Let's welcome him on the show because he has a brand new, well, not brand new, but it's making a lot of waves. It's got some millions of hits now. It's been around for about maybe 3 or 4 months. A show called, and I cannot off the bat, can I just say, because we're close enough, I'm going to have to obviously be a little less respectful to you than others. The
Please.
show is called Khane Mein Kya Hai. I hate that name. I can't tell you, I loathe it. I don't know what the name means.
You,
No, it's
you
a good name.
snobbish man,
Let me,
just
no, 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 no,
because it's in Hindi, you don't like it.
no. Listen,
You
listen.
Anglophile.
No, listen. The good names for your show are Cyrus Says, taken. Cock and Bull, taken.
English,
Read There
English,
Wasn't, taken. 99,
English,
taken. Fruit and Nut, taken.
English,
Okay. No,
English.
you can have Lavaris. I'll give you as much Hindi as you want. Takriban, my favorite word in Hindi. Please put it down.
Takriban.
Yes, but these are interesting names. Do you know in the history of television, the only successful show with a crappy name, just stupid name, lack of imagination, is Seinfeld. That's it, Seinfeld. And what a great show that was. So that exception is over. So can we change the name before we start chatting? From Khane Mein Kya Hai? What is Khane Mein
You
Kya Hai?
think
What is there in food? In English, is what is in your food, what is there? It's what
no,
the hell?
that's not the. This is why your English Hindi is bad. The direct translation is
Your English is
what's
bad when you
there
say
to
Hindi is
eat.
bad. You don't say Hindi is bad. You say your Hindi is minimal. Your Hindi is not good enough. Hindi is
The
bad
di-
is grammatically wrong.
the
Now go ahead.
translation, the direct translation is what's there to eat,
No.
not what is inside the
Khane,
food and kya hai and all that.
khane ke liye kya hai is what's there to eat. You don't know Hindi. Get out. You're off the show. How dare you speak like that? And by the way, for people watching, it looks like I'm on the 6th floor opposite building and you're on the 5th floor opposite building. And we're
What can I
talking.
do? I've got a huge computer screen and the camera is up here.
Oh, I thought you said huge and they were going to go somewhere else with my show.
No, I
And then
could.
Khane Mein Kya Hai goes out of the window. Okay, bro.
Have
Listen,
you watched? Have you watched any episode of mine, Cyrus?
not one, not
Or
one. But
like
I've
all
seen,
the guests,
yeah, like all the
like
guests. I know
all your
nothing,
guests.
nothing about what
You've
you all
never
do.
watched
I've
anything.
never read your books. I've never seen your shows. Generally, 2 minutes into the interview, I vaguely know who the person is. But hey,
Kabir Bedi
listen,
probably did not even know that he written a book himself.
no, but Kabir also did not offer to give me the book. Generally, they send the book, and he was
Yeah.
like, "No, man, you got to go and buy it." Okay, Kunal Vijayakar with an A. We've done a lot of research. We've got lots of people involved. This is not a small show, Cyrus says now. Even though we have a YouTube controversy going on as we speak, we have a team of 36 people working on this show. All right, and 34 have got
Ah.
COVID at
Hmm.
various times, and I don't know how their health will transpire. But let me just tell you about yourself. Did you know that you were born in 1964 on the 19th of May, which makes you 57, the oldest guest we've ever had?
Kabir Bedi? What about Kabir Bedi?
Second oldest guest we've ever had. Listen, he's still a great-looking man, Kunal. You look like
And
a
what
guy.
is? Hello, look at that jawline. Have you seen a jawline like this nowadays?
What I see is these two earrings, these horrible white earrings that you're wearing. Okay, and this is your pilot speaking, by the way. Okay,
Yeah.
we'll get to the food bit first, and then I want to quickly go into your life and career and all that beyond food.
You have
So, your
to.
first, yeah, say,
My
please, we're
life
listening.
and career.
Yeah, it's for lack of a better thing, that's what we do on the show. Keep in mind, there are some people who may have not heard of you or don't know enough about you, or actually want to know about you, who listen to this show. So even though I know the answers to these questions, I might answer them myself like an Ordnob sort of panel. We'll
which
still
is a
take a
good
punt.
idea.
Okay. So before we get into foodie, I just want to get the thing right. Your first thing was writing in your first food foray was writing in a newspaper, right? Was it Bombay
Yeah,
Times or something else?
Bombay Times, Bombay Times, Bombay
Why don't you
Times.
tell us? Let's just look at the food journey separate. Then we'll quickly try and get everything else in. So
Honestly, the food journey started with eating, which is the honest truth. I come from a
really, you
family
come out
of
to my show
people.
and this is what you say. Your
Yeah,
food journey
yeah,
started with eating. It's like telling me
yeah.
my life journey started with breathing. It makes no sense to have this conversation.
Is it a true one? Is it a true?
Truth is often overrated. Let's get
Yeah.
back to the situation. So we are talking about the fact that okay, you said you just give us a bit your community. The Pathare Prabhus are
No, no,
non-vegetarian.
no, no. Look,
What do you mean? No, no,
I came,
you
no, no,
deny
I
all
come to
this.
Pathare Prabhus and all later on, but just look, I come from a family which really like to eat, go out and eat. Eating out was very big in our lives,
You
even
come
as
from a
young
very rich
kids.
family, and you're just arrogant enough to put it that way. Fair enough. Go on.
We
And you
were
like to eat.
decently well off. We were decently well off,
Uh,
and we ate
all
out a
this.
lot.
Yeah.
We
Name
went,
one place from your childhood that you
Gaylords,
remember.
Gaylords.
Oh,
We were
I said.
Gaylords is
What a,
60 years old. The Gaylords turned 60 about 2 years ago, if you remember.
and you're 3 years younger than Gaylords, in a
Well, yes.
sense.
But we started going to Gaylords when I was about 10, 11. There were other restaurants which we went to, which are no longer there in Mumbai.
What's your
They're
memory of
all
any other?
closed.
Which is your
Okay.
first memory of?
Do you remember Bombelli's on Bridge Candy?
I'm not as old as you. It's not
Bombelli's on
right what
Bridge
you're doing.
Candy.
It's like Subhash
Volga,
Chandra Bose asking Indira Gandhi, "Do you remember this and that?" There's an age gap.
Volga, Volga.
Volga and Kulava.
Yeah, you know,
Isn't it a shoe
at
shop?
Flora Fountain.
Shoe
No,
shop.
it's a bloody restaurant. Okay,
Oh, it's a river
Gurdo,
actually, but I won't get into that. Huh?
Gurdo,
No, bro, you're
Gurdo
much older
is
than me. I'm 40 or 57, or 17 years. All these things were there. Okay, but what? So
Gurdo, Gurdo is right next to Gaylords. Huh.
which is your first memory then? You're not telling us that. The first thing you remember in the
My
restaurant.
first memory of a restaurant was Bistro. Bistro is where Akbar Ali's is today. Across the road is a Raymond showroom. That used to be Bistro. And a Horseshoe restaurant, which is Jafarbai at Kolaba.
Oh, yeah. They even
Sorry,
had that
Delhi Darbar.
horseshoe.
My mistake.
This is
Sorry,
today Delhi Darbar.
Delhi Darbar
My God.
at Kolaba.
Yeah.
Used to be a horseshoe. Did Parsi food, if you remember. Cyrus.
Yes. I'm just sending a message because this is a very boring show. So it's okay to do that in between your show. No, you don't mind, right?
Yeah. I'm also doing it.
Who are you messaging?
I
You're
don't know.
pressing
Some
Jafar
people
Bhai to apologize for your lapse that
Yeah.
happened just now. Yeah, I think you should.
Yeah.
Listen, we've got a lot of research, so I'm going to try and see whether it matches. Let me just see. Yes, what you're saying is true, or everything you said is true. Okay. Then you did the. Let's fast forward. Then you did the column basically somewhere in your
Yeah.
20s.
So I had a humor column with Bombay Times, and Malvika Sangvi was the editor, and then they threw
What
me
humor
out in
column?
2 years. I wrote it's called Full Stop.
Was
Fool's
it funny?
Stop.
It's
Well,
not.
I
I'm
thought it was
already.
funny.
It's almost as
I,
bad as Kani Mein Kya Hai. I'm
I
already losing
thought
interest. Huh.
I thought about I
I
thought it
don't
was
remember
funny.
full stop.
Of
I don't
course it was
remember.
there. Silence. You know, very bad memory, man.
You wrote
You
a
don't.
food column
That
or
was
something
after
else,
that. So this the sequence of events. So Malvika
uh,
Sangvi gave me that column. Okay.
right?
Then Malvika quit Bombay Times,
And the new
and I
editor
lost the
got rid of
column.
you. Yeah, so
Yeah,
it's a bit like
and
the
the new
Taliban.
editor. Yeah, and
Uh, good name.
new editor was
I can't remember.
Ayaz Mehmet.
Why would he take out your column? He's very fond of you.
No, so he didn't know. So then he called me and he said, "Why don't you write a food column instead?" So we
Oh,
changed
so
the
that's what
column to
I'm
a
saying.
food column.
So what you didn't understand, nobody thought it was a humor column, that full stop. So they misunderstood it as a political column or something, a social column or whatever. So now
Uh,
they gave you what was the name of the food column?
Cordon Blanc.
Cordon Bleu. Oh God, another bloody one on something or the other, which makes me really happy. Okay, I'm going to now just segue into a few other stories that I've got here on my thing.
That is, you've got to look at the paper to know what I did 10 years ago, 50 years ago. You're looking at
No,
a
no,
paper, you shameless man.
no. There are things written here. Everything has got to do with me. So I'm just trying to see what in that time period did you do beyond food, but you acted in
Nothing.
some
I was in advertising. I had a
ads.
job.
Oh,
I
you were
had a
still in
job,
advertising,
Cyrus.
right,
I
right,
had a
right.
job.
Stop saying
I
it.
worked. I
It
had a
doesn't it
job.
doesn't become truth or a lie by saying it 100 times. You're not Gobels. So
Yeah.
let's understand in perspective again. You were doing the food column, but you're not a trained chef, right? Like Amrita
Not at
Raichand is
all.
a trained chef,
Not at
and
all.
all
I have
these
never
other,
claimed to be a chef either. I have never said I'm a chef. And
and
unlike
you're a
a lot
very,
of people in this
yeah,
who say chef so and so, I never say
yeah.
chef Kunal.
No, you don't.
I
Would you put Doctor
I
Seamus
mean
in front of your name since all your
no,
family members are doctors?
sir.
So you're okay with sir, but not with chef or doctor. That's good to know.
No.
So you started with the column, but it was just like a fun thing because everybody knows you to be a food lover. For those who don't know enough about
Yeah,
Kunal,
yeah.
when we first got to meet him, my family and friends who met him, everyone had the same reaction. He always makes food sounds while talking. Like if you tell him, Kunal, are you hungry? Yeah. His whole life is about food sounds, and so in that sense, it looks like food is never far away from his psyche. Kunal, why do you make those stupid sounds like a 4-year-old?
Because they just come. I don't do them purposely.
Can you make a
That's
couple
what
so, so I
happens.
can I just show people that I'm not lying? Can I make just show them the actual truth of you? So I'm going to say the name of something yummy, which I think you'll find yummy, and you give your reaction. Okay?
Hmm.
Butter chicken in Gaylords.
Very nice, lovely. It is.
Where's the slurpy
With
sound?
hot. My mouth is dry at the moment. But with hot butter naan, nothing like it. And their butter chicken is creamy, orange, with a lot of kasuri methi on top. It's delicious.
And is that your all time favorite? Possibly, or
No,
tough
no,
choice?
I have two or three butter chickens that I really like. Gaylord is one of them. Tawa is another one of them, which is like chilia butter chicken, which is like sweetest, tikka, sweet. And
Hmm.
Balwas is a very good butter chicken. And one more, bloody
What about outside Mumbai? You've never found butter.
Shere Punjab. Oh
That's
yes,
all. That's all South Mumbai.
quality in Delhi. Quality in Delhi. Um,
The only problem with
where's
quality is they don't know how to spell because quality in English is with Q and they spell it with a K. So that's I don't know if it's German or what, but that's a big mistake.
is
We'll come back to
Punjabi.
your we come back to your Punjabi tryst itself, which is so you did this column for 2 years, and then when did this food show start with Arnab Goswami as your producer director?
2006.
2006,
2006. So
right?
Times Now was launching, and Sunil Lulla was heading the channel. So
Oh,
if you remember, we knew him because of your MTV days.
yeah, we
And
knew him means I had to know him. I had to work under him. You knew him
yeah,
because you came to the free parties and hung around the
I
sets. Yeah, okay.
socialized. I
Huh.
socialized.
Yeah. You drank his booze. Huh.
So he said that he recommended my name because he knew
Oh.
that I was comfortable in front of a camera and that I had enough knowledge
How did
about
he know you
food.
like food?
Because he saw my column, Cyrus. Come on, you're asking the questions and answer them
That's a
yourself.
very good. That's a very good hint. Yeah, that's a good. That
Then
makes a lot of sense, huh?
it's not. The column was in the Times of India. Everyone reads the Times of India.
Yeah, good days. That's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
With- Times have changed. Literally the paper. Huh. So whoever one of them gave you the job, and that's when you and
Yeah.
Arnab started a beautiful friendship, which till today, I mean,
Do you know? Do you know that when Times Now was launched, the Bombay Times cover had a picture of three or four of us, and on one side there is Arnab Goswami, and there's me in my short pants over there.
and who are the other two?
There is Gitanjali Kirloskar and that Maruf Raza. Remember Maruf Raza
Yeah,
from
of
Times
course. Huh.
Now? The defense
Yeah,
expert.
yeah. Where did he go? He was always
Uh,
bashing Pakistan. I remember that. Huh.
yeah. I don't know
That
where
was
he
his
got.
role. That was his
Yeah,
role.
I don't
Yeah.
know very well. No, but he was an ex-military, I think ex-army guy, and he had influence in the army and all that. And then there were a couple of other people. I can't remember who they are, but I can resurrect that picture and show it to you one of these days.
No, no. If you can while the show's on, that's fine. Otherwise, don't bother me. Because
No, it's, God
I'm only
knows
showing
it's
you
somewhere.
respect while the show is on because I have to treat you
Yeah,
like other guests. People say, look how badly
yeah.
you were talking to this guy. But with Anu Malik, you were touching his feet. So I don't want all that crap. Because I've been very nice to
Okay.
all the guests. It's called Cyrus
Yeah.
Says, and we are Mehman culture. When you come here, no matter what crap you've done in your life, we put it aside and say, boss, you are a great person. And I'm having trouble doing this, but I'm trying my best. So you started this thing. It became an overnight success. Made you very popular. You started getting
And there
dates
was
with
nobody
television.
else doing it, Cyrus. We were the first people to do it.
Who's
Obviously,
we?
everybody, we mean the channel. The channel was
Right,
the first
right.
people to do it. Everybody else was cooking in the afternoon.
Is it
Thoda
true?
ye dalo, thoda dalo.
You're making fun
And
of
we went out and I
Sanjeev
ate on the
Kapoor.
road.
I told you understand what you're saying here. You're subtle dig at poor Sanjeev Kapoor. Unnecessary.
Not
Yeah.
at all. Not at all. He's a
But
very
but
sweet
uh,
man.
but is it true that Arnab Goswami wrote your scripts and was a controlling factor, and that every evening you
No,
had to go to his home and have a drink with him and
no,
discuss things?
no. There was no script. What script? I went and ate and we chatted about the food. We talked about the food. There were no scripts.
And is it true that you chose his ties for him and his glasses because you're all into all that?
No. They're only for you, Cyrus. That I do only for you. Your glasses, your tie, your suits, everything
Okay.
I choose.
Okay. Favorite episode of the foodie or favorite two, three? It's, again, mean question. Because whatever comes to your mind. Which are the top two or three?
Uh,
And is it possible for
I
someone to
think
view it now? Are they on YouTube?
they're all on YouTube. Not all, but there's a lot of them on YouTube. And because they are on YouTube, considering the show ended about 7, 8 years ago,
Yes.
it still appears like I'm people who watching it can't make out whether I'm thin, fat, old, young, and
Sorry to interrupt. Don't say thin. Less fat, fat, super fat, more fat. Don't say thin.
okay.
Because thin is a wrong word. You've never been thin. You will never be thin. This thinness is
I'm
gone.
thin. Besides, you've called me thin all my life. You're too thin. You're too thin.
Thin.
You've lost weight. Your shoulders
You
have
don't have
gone.
you don't have shoulders and glutes. So if you are to be sculpted by in ancient Rome, they'd be like, I don't know what to do with this guy because this is two prominent parts which are missing. But and as you lose weight, they become less. Anyway, and the sad part is the
Uh,
face doesn't always lose weight that quickly. This is coming from
yeah,
me. Huh? Everywhere else
yeah,
I go till you turn up, I'm the guy with the fat cheeks, and then
yeah,
you come,
yeah.
the Mr. Olympian, bronze medal winner. Let's get back to the journey. So, what I remember Dharminder episode, for example, which you really enjoyed. I know we were
Yeah,
drinking
Dharminder
after
was
that.
great. So yeah, Dharminder was a great episode because one is to be able to meet Dharminder. No, but Shami Kapoor was another great episode. One, it was right outside your house in Malwa, so I didn't have to go to Juhu to shoot it. Uh,
So the two are on par for you, Dharminder
yeah,
and Shami Kapoor, two legends you grew up with and you love them both. But because Dharminder had the audacity to bring you to Juhu, you're giving 1 point extra to Shami Kapoor because he lives in Malabar Hill. Fair enough.
yeah,
Lived in
yeah.
Malabar.
But it was unbelievable because just to meet these two people who have you only heard of, and you meet a lot of actors, but when you see these legendary people who were big when you were not when you did not have access to actors, it's a great feeling. And to see them eat with you and Dharmendra, we discussed whether he drinks anymore or not because you heard legendary stories about his drinking. And when he told me that I have drunk enough to last me three lifetimes, and I have quit and I now do yoga or some strange thing like that. And
Yoga's
then
not a
he
strange thing.
proceeded to,
Government approved exercise. Government approved. Central government
yeah,
approved.
but you
Not the
can't
state government.
think of Dharmendra doing it. No? Dharmendra, you imagine the bottle in his hands. So,
So you were disappointed to hear he quit
yeah,
drinking and that he was
yeah,
now doing yoga.
yeah.
It broke your heart. We totally get
And
what you're saying.
Shami Kapoor was the most fascinating thing about Shami Kapoor is that when the internet was launched for the first time in the world when it came to India, he was one of the first people to embrace the internet. So while Shami Kapoor was in a wheelchair, could not walk, he had a room which had these huge Apple Mac. He was the first person to even buy an Apple computer. So he had these huge Apple computers, internet, and he was all savvy, completely internet savvy.
Is it also true that he owned Yahoo and that the whole title is Yahoo? Koi
I
mujhe
don't
Hindi
know.
kahe?
I don't know. But that's what they all said. Yahoo was launched at the same time with when Shami
It's too
Kapoor
much of a
embraced it.
coincidence. It just, I
Yeah,
mean, it sounds ridiculous, but it's too much of a coincidence. There might be
yeah.
something in that. We have to
We don't know.
investigate that
I don't
matter.
know. But I must tell you something about
So
Shami Kapoor, which is
yeah.
which is interesting. Is that so? Shami Kapoor was very ill. I think his kidneys were fried, and he had to go to British Hospital 2 or 3 times a week for dialysis. Yeah, and he said that I get into my Mercedes, and he had this. I think it's a CLA class Mercedes, which is a slightly sporty car, 4-door but sporty. And he said, my fellow takes me in my wheelchair, puts me in the driver's seat. I drive myself to Breach Candy Hospital,
How does
and he
so
can
it's
drive
automatic?
himself.
But how do you
Yeah,
accelerate and all
automatic.
that?
I mean, his legs are moving, but he may not be able to stand.
Oh,
You know. Uh, but think about an old man
shades
who,
of someone I know, and he was about twice your age at that point. Yeah.
yeah, and so he drive to Breach Candy. Then over there, somebody help him out of the car into a wheelchair to get his dialysis done. Come back into the car, and he also said that if destiny ever allows us, I would love to go back to Paris because his famous film Evening in Paris. Go back to
And
Paris.
evening in Paris. Go on.
Yeah, and I'll take my doctor with me, and I'll take you with me, and we will shoot food in Paris. This is what he said, which is like quite a sort of story.
No, you know, understood. You were going to be the menial to pick him up, put him in the thing, hold his hand, wash him, all these things. Think about it.
Well,
Uh,
well.
let's talk a little bit about. So there's another episode which came to my mind again. We used to drink heavily in those days, and I remember telling that story all night at the Bombay Gym to everyone. Which is you met at that point one of the most powerful and influential cricketers in world cricket, batsman, that is Matthew Hayden. At the peak of
Hmm.
his fame, loved in Chennai, adopted in Chennai. So you went to shoot with the Chennai Super Kings, and you called me up and said, "Who is this guy called Matthew Hayden? Can you tell me something about him? Because I will interview him in 5 minutes."
Yeah. So
And
look,
that is
you
an
know my
incredible
knowledge of
story.
cricket. You
No,
know
yes,
how much I know about cricket, okay?
yeah,
But look, the truth is that as an interviewer, I had to respect him like you're respecting me today, however fake it may be.
huh.
Yeah, yeah, okay. However, so I was told Matthew Hayden is a cricketer. That's all I knew, and that he has his own cookery show, and he's got a whole back garden where he cooks, and he had a restaurant or something like that. So here I am faced with my Matthew Hayden, and I cannot ask a cricketer only about food. I got to ask him about his cricket. So that's why I said
Yeah.
I'll call you and ask you few hints, few tips that I can get, that I pertinent questions to ask him while I'm doing the interview.
But is it also
But
true? Is it
hmm,
also true that legend has it that you told Matthew Hayden at the top of the interview, right at the onset, "Ki I don't know anything about cricket. I don't know anything about you, and I'm
I
really
did,
sorry about that." And he
I
fell
did.
in love with you because you said that because you're the first Indian who did chase him
But I did
across
that.
the
I
street
did
in
that
Chennai.
to Matthew Hayden, and I did that to Brett Lee, who I interviewed as well. And I had no idea of cricket either. And there was another fellow, and I forget his name. He was part of the
Right.
Rajasthan Royals. No. And I don't even know which country he was from.
Rajasthan
Rajasthan
Royals.
Royals.
These were he was Chennai Super Kings, Matthew Hayden,
Okay,
and Brett
so
Lee was
that
in
is
four
different.
different IPL teams. Huh.
Rajasthan Royals, Ajinkya Rahane was in the team, young
Yeah, that's
Ajinkya
right.
Rahane,
That's right.
and he
That's right.
was a slightly older cricketer. Okay,
Indian
and
foreign.
foreign. I told you which country. I don't know which country he's from,
Okay.
and probably
So this podcast is now turned into a who done it, huh? Because now we
yeah.
stop your show and now we're trying to figure out who the cricketer is.
And
So
and
anyone out
and
there who
you
has a
and
name,
no no
yeah.
and they had this sort of what do they call, what do you call it? It's like a thing that they do, that they have a doll. They had a doll which one of the guys every day was punished that he had to carry around with him
Yeah,
every
yeah,
day.
yeah, yeah. Whoever,
Okay,
yeah, it's like
yeah,
instead of a team fine, they have made them walk around with a kid's toy. Yeah,
yeah,
correct,
a
correct. I
big
remember.
stuffed toy.
You are telling the truth, by the way. Yeah.
Yeah.
Huh.
So, but I can't remember the name. He's a really old man. He looked almost senior most cricketers in that team, in that Rajasthan Royals team.
Shane Warne
And he,
was the oldest.
no, no, not Shane Warne. Not Shane Warne. Everybody knows Shane Warne. It's one of those names, either English or Australian,
Hmm.
or maybe New Zealand.
Okay.
I don't
We'll
know.
try and
Anyway,
yeah. Okay. Stop being racist. Be very
but
careful. You're on thin ice
so,
here. Huh.
okay. Speaking of racism, I must tell you about. We're talking of food now, and my episode. One of my most exciting episodes I ever did, food wise. Yeah, we went to Ahmedabad 3 times. Yeah, and every time we went, we covered Gujarati food, vegetarian food, thali, Vaishali, very nice food. Yeah, and then it just struck me, and I asked the producer. I said, "Look, the city's called Ahmedabad. Ahmad is a Muslim name. There has to be a Muslim area in Ahmedabad which will give us great Muslim food." So they did research and they found this old street called Bhatiyar Gali over there. And it was like you would have jumped with joy just looking at the food. And the producer said, "Let's do one thing. We'll start at one end of the lane and we'll keep walking, we'll keep walking, we'll keep walking. You just keep eating, eating, eating. We will shoot in real time and then we'll see on the edit what happens. Let's not plan anything." And it was the most unbelievable meal in the most unexpected place. Starting with a basoor and keema biryani, which was just outside the lane. So it's a biryani with basoor and keema, very tasty. Cyrus, don't make faces. And
I don't want
then
masoor with
into,
biryani. They're separate dishes for me. You can't keep
but
just
that's what
matching
now.
things. This is like this nouvelle music thing, where you take a
Cyrus,
tabla and you put a electric
this
guitar and
this
all. This is how
recipe
it
is
goes.
over 500 years old, and what novel thing? It's
I can't deny
traditional.
my tongue. I can't deny my tongue. My tongue speaks the truth. It's like you like certain girls, you don't like certain girls. Your body just tells you. You can't lie. It's the same thing. Anyway, so you had a
Yeah.
go on.
Yeah. So it was, and there was mutton, and there was bheja, and there was kidney, and gurda, kaleji, prawns, fish, red color, white color, green color, kebabs,
You're looking
never
hungry as
ending.
you, yeah, you're looking like you're about to have
Yeah,
an
now you can
orgasm.
hear the sounds. Can you hear the sounds?
Yeah, we can hear the sounds. Don't overdo it. We're happy with the sounds. Drink your water, relax, get your breath back, take your Campos, whatever you need to.
Chalo.
Okay.
Next question.
No, no, no. The whole thing is about your new show, and we haven't spoken about that. And I have
Uh,
to call Silvery into the show in 3 minutes. So quickly tell us
uh,
about the new show. And of course, the whole question will be asked all the time is why is it different? So I won't pin you down on that because I don't see why a food show should be very different from
it's
another
not
food show.
different. No,
Yeah.
it's well. To be completely honestly, this is something that I should have started doing 7 years ago when YouTube literally started. But me being lazy and arrogant and everything else, we said, but digital, digital. And then we've all, accepted that this is the future. And so when a bunch of young guys who used to do my foodie show got together and asked me, shall we do this? So I said, okay, chalo, let's do it. And we started this thing. And it's a lovely team. It's a great team of young me. When I say young, I mean younger than me, okay?
Which is
It's
like
they're not, yeah,
average age in
yeah,
India is 27.4, which is 90% people.
yeah.
But we won't get into the episodes. I'll let him come in and talk about those episodes as well. But tell us
Mm.
one thing: is Arnab play a role in this as well? He owns your outfit now.
No, no. I
You
don't think he
parted
likes
ways.
me anymore. Yeah, we parted ways. After you made fun of him on week, that wasn't, and he blamed me for it.
He's never bothered about that. He doesn't mind all this. He's quite a sport about all that. He had a fight with you over something internally which you're not telling us. One day you'll have to reveal. The nation wants to know what
I
really
never,
happened.
I never had. I never fight
A
with
little
anybody.
birdie told me. A little birdie told me. Let's talk gossip here.
Uh,
You wanted insist on business class tickets, and he put his foot down and said that budgets have been slashed and you can't go business class. And over that, you all had a hand-to-hand fight, witnessed by 13
no,
people.
nothing. Well,
Well,
the
hand-to-hand
truth
means
is that
you hit him once and then
I
you felt tired. Yeah.
no, no. I like business class tickets, and I insist on them, which is not new as a story. But I didn't fight with them over that.
Then what was it?
Nothing. I didn't fight with them. Where did I fight with them?
This show exposes the truth. Tell us everything, Vijayakar Kunal. Tell us everything.
Why? I never fought with any. I've never
Your
fought with
face
anybody in
is
my
a lie.
life.
You're
I
hiding something. You're
swear.
holding back. You're smiling too much. You don't
Cyrus,
smile
I am
normally.
a
What's going on
calm
here?
person.
There's
I don't
lies
fight
written
with
across your.
anybody.
I'm a liar is written on your head. Like Mera Baap Chor Hai from the Amitabh Bachchan film. You're exactly like that. I'm a liar. I can see it. I can't believe it, Kunal. You
I
had a
don't
chance to
fight with
clear the air.
anybody,
Clear the
Baba.
air with
Where do
so
I?
many people on this podcast. Okay, we will
I
one day
have
become
not fought with Arnab Goswami or any other
hand to
person.
hand. Blood was exchanged.
I have
Lots of
not fought
galis.
with Arnab Goswami. I have not fought with Rajdeep Sardesai, and I
No,
have
you didn't
not
fight with
fought with
Rajdeep.
anybody. Yeah.
You haven't fought with Rajdeep.
So
I
I
know
don't
that.
fight. I don't fight.
Although
I
you
don't
may have
fight.
you may have been different with Rajiv's family members, names not to be mentioned. I feel you're avoiding one of them. In fact, I was
No,
told
no,
by her
I
that you
made
said
good
sorry.
yesterday. Yesterday I made good.
Okay, okay, let's not hear your stories. Your
Yeah.
stories are irritating me. Do you mind if we call Silvery in? He's a bigger fan of you than I am.
Please call him.
Silvery,
Please call him.
Silvery, as we take a break, welcome to the show. You meet Mr. Foodie, the original pioneer of food shows, who then
Yes.
unceremoniously fought with what's his name, Goswami, and the show ended.
And
By
I
the way,
never fought with anybody. What do you
at a
say?
function 3, 4, 5 years ago, Arnab actually met us, famous lawyer's daughter's wedding, and
Oh, yeah.
he told Kunal again in front of me, so I'm a witness, that let's chat. Why aren't you doing the show? He said, why aren't you doing the show to him, having cancelled his show 5 years back? And then Kunal said, yeah, yeah, of course. And of course, there was no comeback after that, and it was just social conversation, so it didn't go anywhere. He didn't call, right, Kunal?
No. Ooh, I didn't know.
He didn't call, but he
They,
did
But
say
they,
how, but how much?
he
How much
did
did you have
actually.
to? How much did you guys have to deal with Arnab anyway when you were there, Kunal?
oh no, I didn't have to do. I dealt with him with my contracts. That's about it. Once a year, we'd sit, I'd fight for money. He'd say no, then I'd say yes, and then we'd agree on something and carry on.
the first half of their relationship, while he was how many years, 6 years or something. So let's say the first 3 to 4
9
years were
years.
fine,
9
and
years. 9 years.
he was very nice because both our channels are close by. So, while we were shooting this, he'd go to that, or sometimes so I would go and pick him up, and sometimes if he's running late, I'd go up also, and they were very welcoming and all. He was really nice. He's amazingly, his PR skills actually when he wants to be are very good. So this other side that he has on TV, and then there's also that side, and he would be very
Correct.
charming and
So
friendly and
that's
everything.
what I think that's true of most people. I think most people are in person when you meet them. Even like the most evil people, when you meet them in person, you'll be like, oh, that's a decent guy. I don't know why we get such a bad rap in the media.
So who are
But
the
then
evil
you
people
on
you've met?
TV or in front of the camera.
Me,
Silvery, who are
Sorry?
these evil people you've met?
me,
No,
Cyrus,
I'm
you're
not
talking
saying.
about?
Yeah,
Cyrus,
that's right.
Cyrus, you're
Cyrus,
talking
yeah.
about.
correct.
No,
Yeah,
there's the Taliban, and then there's me. Those are the two. Yeah. But but then there was a sea change, and then they had a horrible argument, and they even had an argument on the phone in front of me. He was in the car, and he was screaming his lungs out. He started coughing because Kunal doesn't have much lung power, so he got really agitated, and that fellow was also abusing. And there was, I mean, they didn't abuse each other, but there was MCBC used in the conversation, which they don't have that conversation style.
Hey,
But
Cyrus
that
is
went.
imagining things, man. It's all lies, Cyrus. What rubbish you're talking.
Silvery, I was aghast. I was like, "Why are you talking like that?" Because ultimately, it's like a
Cyrus is
job.
living his own
But Kunal
world.
was like,
Some own
he's like,
stories you're
I'm
making
not going to
up.
travel. I'm not going to travel. Fucking economy. You know who I am? I'm Vijayakar. All Marvel stuff like that. Yeah. And that guy was saying the same thing. You let me speak. You let me speak now. Okay, you've had your turn. Now let me speak. And they went on like that for, it was hilarious.
So if
Don't
I
get it.
was on the phone, how are you listening to what Arnab Goswami is saying? All lies, man.
I'm yanking your chain a little bit. Don't get upset. Now relax. Calm down. Take your compose. Calm down. Sit back. And now Silvery will take over. Let me introduce Silvery to you. You don't know this side to him so well. He's got the comedy side, which is his main aim, of course, and he does this podcast to pay the bills. Believe me, this is not what he wants to do. Then he's got a third side, which he's sort of found out in the lockdown. It's almost like how you discover accidentally that you can sing well or something. And he found that he's a decent cook, and he's actually got a
Oh,
very serious interest in food shows. And
oh,
after
fantastic.
comedians,
Love
that's
food.
his second big hobby. He follows foodies, food
Yeah,
people.
I've seen
Food,
almost. I believe I've seen every episode of Khane Mein Kya Hai.
there you go.
If not every, then almost every episode. And also a lot
Can
of the
you please
episodes of the
see
foodie.
every
I
because
recently
there
went
aren't
back.
that many. We've just hardly 20
Yeah,
episodes
correct,
we've got
correct.
now.
So
Yeah.
that's
The
what
guy
I
is
saw right from the
praising
beginning.
you, and
And
you're
yeah.
being obnoxious and saying you please watch everyone. He's saying he's watched everyone,
No,
or almost
yeah.
everyone.
No, he didn't say that.
If there were 10, he's
Yeah.
watched 9. It's like that. Now you can't hold him to that. But no, my
Listen,
point is,
And
don't let Cyrus influence you, Silvery.
yeah.
Don't
No
let him
worries.
influence
It's
you.
all good.
you can't be influenced by people you hear every day. It just won't happen. But so the interesting thing is that there's a glut of food shows, right? We've discussed
Yeah.
this a lot of times, both on the show and Kunal and me separately. Glut of food shows. How do you stand out? One, of course, you already have a name, so you have that advantage. But two, there are lots of people. Everybody and their mother. In fact, we were discussing that just the other day. Is on an Insta showing a cake they've made or this or that.
Yeah.
So that those with big, so-called accreditation and rankings or chefs or whatever experience, what have you. And then there are plenty who are not. Not that that's a bad thing. You can be enthusiastic. But I'm saying, Kunal, don't
You
you think
know,
there's too many?
see, this whole digital thing, YouTube has sort of, in a way, democratized everything.
Don't say YouTube. He's very
Everybody.
upset. Don't take that name. Just say YT. He's a
Why?
little upset. It's an
Why?
inside story.
Okay.
To do with our show
Okay.
and stuff is happening. And, I can't
So,
reveal everything.
digital
My book will
video
reveal everything.
channel,
All is
that
involved, I'm told.
that digital video channel or whatever you want to call
YouTube, right? Yeah. Go on.
it. Yeah. A lot of people who came from nowhere, housewives, have gone and got millions and millions of followers today.
Yeah.
There is the highest viewed food people are people who have not been in the business. They've not been in the TV business. They've not been in the food business. So it's unbelievable what has happened.
But is
There's
it
a place
fair?
for everybody.
It's also fair, right? If people take to them, I mean, then who are we to say anything?
Of course,
Yeah,
what is wrong
Like,
in it?
I could do a cricket show.
That is
without
why
playing
I
cricket.
think, yeah, that is why I think what wins eventually is the food itself. Whoever may be presenting it, if the food is good, if the recipes are good, there is a place for it, I think. So, and there are enough people who are food show hosts or have been in the business or actual professional chefs who are not doing that well. But there is
Do you say
something that works.
professional chefs?
Yeah, I've slurred.
Are you drunk?
No,
You
it's
hesitated.
the compose.
He's
It's
our
the
first drunk
compose.
guest. We have a first drunk guest.
Just raise the mic a bit. I'm
Nervous,
sorry.
nervous about coming on the show.
Who's in the background right now, Cyrus? Is that your daughter or is that the wife?
Uh, Maya, say hi to Kunal.
Hello,
Show me his
Maya. Hello,
She's in a better
Maya.
mood. She can't hear you. This thing is on. Mayu is saying,
Correct.
"Hi, Mayu. I'm so sorry to bother you." How does this become like a home show? It's home food show is different from a home show. Okay.
Uh,
Silvery. So take over now. You're the food
Yep,
guy.
sure.
You've seen the episode, so maybe you can just quickly highlight one or two things that you've seen and liked, and maybe
Yeah, absolutely.
I know the Muharram, sorry, the Eid, sorry, quite the opposite. The Eid
So
episode where we were in deep in lockdown, he managed to shoot that. Yeah.
yeah. So first thing I want to ask is, so I saw a lot of the episodes. I saw like the Malwani special,
hmm.
the one with the guy who had a stall and now he has an AC
Correct.
restaurant.
Raju
Yeah,
Malwani.
Raju,
Yeah.
correct.
Raju.
Yeah, that was really delicious.
Yeah.
Bombil
Have
is
you
one of
tried
my
it?
favorite things
Oh, is it?
to eat. So cool to see you try Bombil on your show. That was pretty cool. So what I want to ask is, do these outlets
Uh,
approach you, or
no.
Just
do you?
I'll tell you why he made. Sorry, I'll just segue there and then he'll answer it. He made the face because he actually doesn't eat fish.
Oh, you
Okay,
don't eat fish.
he's not a fish. Yeah, he and I both don't eat fish. So I'll come
But
to
I
that.
eat,
Let him answer
but we
first.
all, both of us eat prawns, lobster, crab,
Shellfish.
oyster,
Yeah.
Oh,
shellfish,
yeah.
all.
We
And
are
no,
fish
we are.
racists. Fishes. We are fishes.
Did you
And,
guys? Is that like a combined story as to why both of you don't eat fish? Is that like
No,
a
that's a
no,
coincidence.
it's
When we
an
first met,
individual.
we both
Yeah.
from our childhood. I hate fish. He hate the fish, not the sea fish. So anyway, let him answer. Then we can go back to that. Yeah.
okay? Yeah.
So
So
no, we
yeah.
no. At the moment, see, when we started, nobody knew that we were doing this show. Not that I was doing this show, so there was,
Yeah.
nobody could
Why
approach
didn't
us.
we just keep it that way?
Yeah. Uh, so I just from all the stuff that I'd been eating at the whatever little connections we had, whatever, we started doing this. Plus, it was lockdown, so very difficult to. Nothing was open here. So we went into kitchen. So if you see all the earlier episodes, that none are shot in a restaurant because the restaurant was shut. We all shot inside the kitchens because the kitchens were open for parcels. So we managed to get those kitchens open. Yeah. So that's what. But that
And
Raju Balmani is a great story. It's a great story.
Yeah,
You know?
amazing. Absolutely.
but also he then closed because of the lockdown and reopened and all that. Didn't he go?
Yeah, but
this
that cart is poor fellow. That cart was shut down for nearly 6 months. Then suddenly I put pressure on him, because the food on the cart is also very good, and he was making more profits, I think, over there. And within 4 days of his putting the cart up, brand new, freshly painted cart, second lockdown happened. So that also went down. Sad, but he
Yeah,
survived. He
politician.
survived.
Who is going to pay Raju back? And by Raju, I don't just mean Raju, the Malwani king, but also all the Rajus of India. We are struggling here while you lock down the country left, right, and center. Do not lock
Raju
down.
Hirani also.
This is your
Raju
last
Hirani.
warning. He was out of work. Raju Hirani was out of work because of lockdown. Really, it's not easy. Yeah. Okay.
Silvery.
We have some AMA
Silvery.
questions as well. The first one comes in from Drishti Kapoor. She
Shall I
says,
just
"Hi,
explain it
Cyrus.
to him? He won't understand. AMAs ask
I
me
know.
anything. These young
I know that.
generations.
That is how many bloody
ask me
shows
anything where they chat.
have I listened to, and how many times have I come as a guest
Correct. Don't have a
where
heart
nobody
attack.
else has been willing to come.
Calm down. Calm down. We're coming back to that whole male period thing now. You're just exposing your hormonal imbalance. Calm down. Yes, Silvery.
All right. The first question comes in from Drishti Kapoor. She says, "Hi, Cyrus and Kunal. Love to see you both together. What are some of the best food destinations in the world, or even just in India? Where would you recommend travel to just for the food?"
Switzerland
Cyrus,
was
you
the
go.
nightmare. Switzerland, I can only
Worst
speak of
food,
experience.
worst food.
Not he and me. Thinking of all the European delights and all, we got nothing that we liked. We really
And
struggled.
very expensive.
And
Damn
Silvery, a lot of the
expensive.
steak on the menu is horse. And if you don't speak French, Italian, or German, you're not very. You think you've understood steak, you'll be damn careful. It's a whole new game altogether. Everything shuts early. I mean, dinner, like even for me, was ridiculous. So I wasn't happy with Switzerland. Love
but
Germany. Love
yeah.
Germany.
But
Kunal went into Kolkata store, and there's a famous story in Germany. It's like the Pied Piper of Hamelin.
Munich.
Kunal went into a Kolkata store, never came out. He never came out.
Charcuterie, it's called, Cyrus.
He was so
It's
happy,
called as
Silvery.
charcuterie.
He's smelling all the bacon and then
Yeah, I
all
love
the, I mean,
Kolkata too. Yeah, salamis
yeah,
and
but you don't the size of those Kolkats and the smell, and they allow you to taste it and all. It's all.
Yeah.
He was like a kid in a candy store. Yeah,
But Asian countries are great to travel to. The food is always great.
lovely.
And in India,
Thailand.
Thailand, Singapore, Malaysia, Malacca. Oof.
And the great thing about Thailand and Malaysia is that we can get everything else also. So if you're tired or you've had too much of Southeast Asian influence, you just switch to everything. You get Lebanese, Greek, everything. You get the works, Indian. So of course, Kunal has to pay because these are expensive places. You can't just go there. Yeah.
Okay. And
Silvery?
what about in
And
India? What
India,
about in India?
Kerala.
Yeah.
Kerala.
Kerala.
Best food.
Okay.
I think so. Kerala food.
You rank Kerala cuisine number one, Malayali cuisine?
Like above
It's very difficult
Mughlai,
to
no?
say that.
Above Mughlai,
Well,
which we born and raised on.
yeah, I would choose
It's like you're betraying
Malayali
your
cuisine.
mother or your aunt, in a sense. You know, you
No, I
grew up
will
with your mother and then you
always
rejected her
remember.
and you've gone to your aunt. Huh.
Always remember, Kerala has three communities: the Hindu, Muslim, and the Maplas, the Muslims, and the Syrian Christian, and they have
Amar Akbar Anthony.
distinctive
Seen the film.
cuisines.
Huh.
Distinctive cuisines, fantastic, all tied up with coconut and masalas. Oof, the best food. And buff and
Oh, I need
pork.
to
But
go.
you know, you like your Malwani cuisine, for example,
I
which is
do,
not
but
that
no, I like.
obvious,
But
in
see,
your
no,
mind
this,
sometimes.
it's a battle. Okay, Malwan is a very small village in Maharashtra. So to say Maharashtrian food is all Malwani is very unfair to the other cuisines of Maharashtra. There is the Nagpur Sauji cuisine, there is the Nasik Khandeshi cuisine, there is the Kolhapuri cuisine, and these are all great
And there's a
cuisines.
song about the Khandeshi cuisine. Khandeshi aate hain. Isn't that a famous song? No, it's not.
Yes,
And
yes, yes. That's the one. Correct.
because nobody in Mumbai has had an opportunity to eat that food, we don't know. So Malwani Bika gets the
Well, will you talk to
hero's
the
version.
politicians? They keep locking it down. How can we go anywhere to eat any food? Is it our
Correct.
fault? We are ready to
Yeah.
go. Silvery packed his bag 3 times and had to come back from the door. It's ridiculous. But I'm just saying, it's a very tough question. You're saying Malayali cuisine right now, but you haven't thought through all the other places you've been through where you must have had some, like Lucknow, for example. You came back really happy
Oh,
with a
the
couple of
Well,
dishes.
the
The
galati
galati.
kebab there, yeah,
yeah,
is
the
excellent.
Galatis are slightly overrated, I think, but the
What?
Ah,
Niharis.
No,
how dare you? He makes a galati. You heard, you broken his heart. You
no, but
idiot.
that's fine.
No, but
No,
it's
but that's
possible that Silvery, your
uh-huh.
Galati is better than theirs. A Galati you can buy at the very airport.
No. What?
I would,
Okay.
and you can murder me for saying this. You can murder me for saying this. But
Okay.
Sarvi Sikh kebab, I prefer to the Lucknow's Tunde kebab.
Really? Okay, I did
Have
not try the
you had
sikh kebab.
Sarvi? That's in Baikala.
No,
Have
I
you
ha-
had Sarvi in Baikala?
no,
So ask
I'm
someone
not.
in Baikala. Sarvi, Jafar Bhai, these are all legendary names. So this is one of the
Okay.
top 10 legendary names of the non-veg guy in our part of the world.
In Mumbai,
You
in
must check it
Bombay.
out.
Okay,
Yeah.
writing it down right now. Zafar Bhai,
Yeah.
I've heard of. Of course, it's legendary.
Jafar Bhai Biryani is the world's best biryani.
When they split, that's so the brother
And
who
and if you want me to show off, my Jafar Bhai episode that I shot with Hassan, Jafar Bhai's son, 2 million views.
Oh, wow.
2 million views.
Yeah,
And
2
Hassan
million views.
never, we have to avoid using Kunal's name. He never charges Silvery. If Kunal
Yeah, I feel
orders,
very bad.
whether it's 5 kilos, 1 kilo, or one biryani, he will not allow a bill. So we
The
have to always try
generosity
and
of
kind
the
of it.
man
Yeah, it's unbelievable.
and his father's.
Yeah, very, very
That's all.
both charitable and generous. Lovely family. And the wonderful thing is they don't notice he's so fat. They should charge so he eats less. I've been saying that. Please, restaurants out there. Yeah. So no to Mughlai, Parsi cuisine, Goan cuisine. You've given
I
up on
love
these
Goan
foods
food
that you
also.
love.
No. I like Goan food also. Yeah. I like Goan food very much.
Maybe
In
he's got a
fact, I've got-
Malayali girlfriend.
I
We
love
don't know
pork
what's happening.
chorizos. Chorizos,
Huh?
the Goan sausages
Yeah.
are pretty good.
Goan sausage. I have a dabba of this size. I can bring it over in the evening one of these days. Bug full of
Boy,
pork
I'll give you
sorpatel.
his address. I'll send it on the phone.
Pork
Go to Hawaii.
sorpatel.
He's sending it to your house.
No.
How can you send it to his house?
Your house, I
He's your
I
fan.
could. I
I'm
was going to
not.
bring it to your house so that I can eat it with you.
You don't eat it. You're on a diet. Your doctor said you'll die in 3 days if you eat extra. So you have to be very careful.
No,
You have to be very careful.
I'll
with
eat.
it.
I'll eat it without carbs, without bread.
This is the
I've-
ultimate. Yeah, go on.
I have another question about khane mein kya hai? How much from each? So you obviously served like a huge platter of food always, right? It's always like your
I
table
know,
is full.
it's-
How much do you end up eating from the thing?
How can I eat so much food?
You can't.
No, I can't physically eat all that food. But I have been accused by a lot of people. A lot of people send. This is the thing about YouTube. People comment all the time. Unlike on television, nobody commented or anything unless you wrote letters to the channel. everybody accuses me of wasting food all the time. But I,
No,
I
I don't
keep
think so.
telling
I think you
people,
give it to people who are working, like your crew and all.
hello, the
I'm
whole
sure.
team, the minute we go
The whole
cut,
team.
the team
Exactly.
just,
Yeah, I can imagine.
everyone comes and
Obviously,
eats
yeah,
the
yeah.
food.
Yeah, because
What
their
if one
mouths have
is
been
veg and one is
watering
non-veg and
because
all
of
that?
the
Oh, yeah,
smell and all that.
I've got Nilesh, my DOP is veg.
So what do you feed
But I
him? The
have,
roti?
can I tell you one thing on foodie? I feel so proud about this, okay?
Mhm.
We had a producer called Amit Jain. Amit Jain, by virtue of his name, was Jain. And he became the producer of my show. By the time I finished with him, he was eating every animal that walked on this earth.
So you understand what you've done to Amit Jain. He'll be thrown out of the community because this show will go out and this show will be seen by somebody in the community. And they
I
will
don't
say,
think
Amit
Amit
Jain.
Jain cares.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't
There
think
He'll
are
be
Amit Jain
gone.
plenty of
cares.
Jains now
Are you
who
going to
are
take
in
him into your
series.
community?
Jain.
Because
I'll
he's
take him
gone
to my
against the
community.
tenets of Jainism
My
and he'll have to
community
suffer the
of
consequences. How dare you do that? Expose him like that. That's terrible. All right. I'll quickly take
I
Aisha's
feel
call.
very proud.
Or rather, I'll just WhatsApp Aisha. While Silvery, please take the next question with our esteemed guest, whose name I've
Yes.
written down. It's
Where is your wife? She's not at
Vijay.
home.
She's gone.
Wife is not at home.
We can't have personal conversation on the podcast, but if you must know,
Oh,
she's going to get the
Why?
Aadhaar card phone linked to the card. Did you know you have to do that? What if you don't have a phone? How do you link it? Explain that to me. I didn't have a phone till 4
She's
years
doing
ago
it
for
3 years
jobs.
after it was supposed to be done.
Yeah,
yeah.
but you
We've
know,
That's
all
what.
done it, Cyrus.
Yeah,
We've all
we're a
done it.
backward
KYC,
tribe.
regular KYC thing. This is what requires, right?
We're a
Yeah,
backward
yeah.
tribe. We're the last of the Mohicans. I've been telling you that. Quick
No, but
question,
then
I
that means you
message
haven't
her.
been able to do KYC for anything of yours at
Nothing.
this
I don't know, contract with
till now.
LTV, which for 1 week we couldn't figure out why our OTP is not coming because everything's online, right?
Because you
But
don't know
finally they
KYC.
cracked it. And then it never occurred to them that you'll be that backward.
Yeah.
See, that nobody thinks. It's always about the tech being wrong. Something is wrong, what's going on, whatever. Nobody thought that you haven't done it. So hence you don't have the instrument for it to happen.
How did you get
Uh,
your vaccine and all, Cyrus, then?
I say, Mera
Yeah.
naam Cyrus Brocha. They just started clapping. And immediately all of them removed their pants and bent over and said, give me a jab. It was
But you
amazing.
know why, no? You know why, no? Because we went to Pasi
Please
General
tell me.
Hospital to get it.
You be very careful. The only people like you are Parsis. Okay, Jains are gone now. You had two communities. Jains are gone. Now Parsis will go. And then you're alone. Only Silvery is your fan. Okay, who's began with all the episodes. Now he'll tell you it was half. And by the end of the show, he'll just tell you I saw one episode, but it was great. I'm telling you right now. Yeah. Silvery, I
Ah,
can't send my
Yeah.
WhatsApp because you're not asking me a question.
Okay. Yeah. Sorry. Yeah. I wanted to ask you this. What is your favorite piece of food history? Like an anecdote that you always tell people at a party, or a fun fact about food. This.
God.
Okay, can I just interrupt that? There's a segue to
It's a
that. He
tough
gets a lot
question.
when we used to socialize, which I you tried to tell me should monetize. Where should I eat? So it's literally like an
Yeah.
app. He would be like an app before apps were around for this kind of thing. So everyone would call him up or meet him in a thing and say, "Hey, I want to eat a good, say, mutton cutlet. Where do I go? I want to eat the best sev puri. Where do I go?" They would always ask him this one question. Like you'd ask some guy in a field who's really like the top of the field about that field. So
That's very
that's one
cool.
thing. That's
To
damn
be
cool.
that person for everyone. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
To know the.
he's like a food doctor.
Yeah.
And they,
Exactly.
they will trust him. Bro, you tell me, where should I go? Because the one
Yeah.
thing about Kunal is he has very strong memory of these places. I think I've related this story many times. When I used to get lost, I had no mobile phone and I was shooting with some MTV or whoever, and I couldn't find the place. I would go to PCOs and call him and say, "This is where I am." In Film City, he once explained to me how to get into one studio only with the food on the road. He literally did that. So he actually said, "Okay, there's a sandwich wala. You'll see him there. Just look, you'll see him there. Not very good. It's always crap. Okay, you आगे 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 जाके वड़ा पाव वाला आएगा. Oh, that vada pav guy is very good. Have one if you can, or tell your guys to get it later. Okay, from there you go straight to the chai wala. From the chai wala you go straight to the gana wala, and literally it was like that. So
Wow.
so it's almost look at the mind. The mind encapsulated only the food people in the area. There would have been a guy dying of cancer on the road. An accident may have happened last time he visited. Some fire would have taken a whole building. Nothing. But the gana wala he remembers, and which is good and which is bad.
So Cyrus is
That's
expecting me to
he
give
should
him
have made
directions
more
saying,
money.
okay, Cyrus,
My
you go straight. There is a man dying of cancer. From him, you take a left turn. There's a building which has been which is burnt. How can I give directions like that? So this is a better
I
way to
would
do
never
it.
get lost if those were the directions. Who would? I mean, just
The
see, यार
man with
आदमी
cancer.
मर गया उधर उसके सामने building जला लिया. Okay, from there, animal gone mad, rabies. But so my point was, as an entrepreneur, Sylvie, you'll appreciate that because you and I are Shark Tank candidates. I had the vision to say that you should have done this, where he became an app. I look that the idea is mine. How to do this app is not mine. I can't do that part. The tech is somebody else's.
And Antarik should do.
No, so then he answers this question. Once listen to me. So you're an Indian in Kenya who's coming to Bombay. Okay, let's just say your name is Gitanji. He just sends a message saying, I'm coming to Bombay. I'm here for 3 days. I live in Bandra. In Bandra, where I get the best Punjabi samosa. Some simple like that. For which they log in and he gives his answer and it's done. What do you think? I thought it was a great
Can I
idea.
charge
Yeah.
$10 for
Yes, you
every answer?
moron! Why the hell are we doing this? Only you love food. We want to make money. Silly, I can't handle this guy. He's a Maharashtrian businessman. Boss, kya karega in log ke saath? Kaisa karega business? Oh, really? Huh. All right.
So
Sorry. Next
yeah,
one.
the question was, what is your favorite food, a piece of food history, if you have one, like some
That's a
food.
damn difficult question, man.
I'll tell you immediately.
Okay,
The one
I'll tell you the bit of foods which everybody. Wajid Ali Shah was the Nawab of Awadh, right? And he was thrown out of Lucknow by the British when they took over his state, and then he was sent off to Bengal, and he was asked whether he would. And this is of course all fable, yeah. Would you like to take all your concubines with you, or would you like to take all your khansamas with you? He took all his khansamas with him to Bengal, and when they settled, then they were broke, but he was used to this elaborate cooking all the time, and so they could not afford meat for the biryani. To put mutton in the biryani, it wasn't and he was feeding like 100 people every day.
The fingers of the concubines were cut off and put in. Amazing story.
No, shit,
That's
what
not
rubbish.
sorry.
That is where the potato and the egg in the biryani was first put.
But I thought it's a Bengali thing.
So you didn't listen to what I said. I just said
He went to Bengal. Yeah, he went to Bengal.
You went to Bengal. I was
Yeah,
focusing
you're on your WhatsApp.
Finally, my porn channels are opening up. Because the Wi-Fi is being fixed again. Thank God, I'm so
Because
happy.
you did your KYC.
Aadhaar card makes you stronger. Everybody do your
Wait,
KYC.
why are you registering on your porn sites? Don't register, Cyrus. You don't
I
have
want
to.
to be. I want to be famous like Raj. I want to be like the next Raj, man. I want to be Raj. Hey, what news of Raj, man? He's out of the news. Is he on bail or not?
Last
I
I
don't
heard, he
think so.
wasn't being allowed bail, but I'll just check.
should
it.
have asked
But
him.
hello, guess who has just been proven innocent by the courts in Delhi?
Or not?
Shashi Tharoor.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Well done,
Yes,
Shashi.
his
I'm a
case
fan.
has been thrown out.
Thrown out. Very good. Yeah, I think the judge. I dare say this. I apologize to the court. May have
understand
the
what
language, you know what I mean.
Didn't.
So can you explain yourself? An obfuscation of justice, and before you know it, boom, whatever it is, you're innocent. Yeah, Silvery has no involvement in this issue whatsoever. He doesn't care. His mind is on.
No, I was trying
the
to see what
destruction.
Raj Kundra's thing is, but everything that shows up is just about Shilpa Shetty returning to shooting first time after this whole porn case.
So she has to go back to work. Yeah, that's fair
Yeah,
enough. Yeah.
that's the big headlines. It's not Raj Kundra is in or out.
Yeah.
Oh.
The other story
okay.
you didn't tell us. Yeah. Oh, sorry, you have a question?
I have a question. Yeah, this is for you, Cyrus.
Huh.
Pratik Raja asks, Cyrus loved you in the coin switch ad as a peacock. Very hilarious. Coin switch Kuber, yeah. How did that come about? On a slightly related note, do you think companies are now trying to stand out with the use of funny ads as celebrities a la cred?
No, but if you see this coin switch Kuber campaign, it's fairly simple. The whole idea is that, but it's fairly simple. So I think in that sense, it's quite a spot-on campaign because and they got the right people for it. A complete moron like myself and Pratik Babbar, who's from a generation which is more clued in. He, by the way, is an MMA artist. Let's get him on. He trains every day, bro.
Oh wow,
He's
yeah,
punch and
definitely.
kick everywhere. Very interesting.
Definitely.
Yeah.
What is
What was the
MMA?
question?
What is
MMA
martial
is
arts?
multi-makers of art. What is MMA?
What?
Mixed martial arts. Mixed martial arts.
Oh.
It's like
How am I
UFC and all.
supposed to know?
Why don't you know?
I don't know.
Why, you've never watched mixed martial arts in your life?
No.
I want to see your phone
Never.
algorithms, what it says. What do you really watch? You can't just be watching cake being made. For God's sake, there can't be happiness all the time. It's got to be more to life than somebody just baking a cake and you're looking at it like for hours. Ouch.
So you're the only person who watches porn.
I don't watch porn. I'm just downloading
I
it from my
make it.
neighbor. Anoop. By the way, I don't know if you guys have these friends. You've got to have one male friend who always sends you the dirty joke or the dirty visual now because you get all these gifts with topless women and all that.
Yeah.
This Anup is my guy. Every week he is he spends.
Well,
He
You're
scours the
lucky
internet.
because you have only one. I
You got how
have
many?
several on
Who's the
various
who's the
groups
Marathi
sending the same shit.
who's the Marathi jokester? Remember they used to come in Marathi, those jokes, and you were drunk out of your mind. You're trying to read Devanagari. Who is this? And Bharat? No,
I forgot it. Who? No, no, not Bharat.
somebody sending
Bharat
jokes
does.
in Marathi, in proper, and oh, that was fun trying to decipher rather. There you go. That's age.
Okay.
Do we have
So
time
the
for one
question
more? Yeah,
is,
we do.
no. The question was, Cyrus, loved you in the coins which I had. Bloody hilarious. How did that come about?
Oh, that I don't know why they didn't tell me. They might have gone through like from Shah Rukh Khan downwards, and then you reach the the abyss, the zenith. I mean the lower, the reverse zenith. At which point, whatever, it's me and Pratik. No, no
But the
disrespect.
ads they've obviously been released, and where can one watch these ads? Are they on television? Are
On
they?
MMA, you have to watch MMA, and then you'll get to see them. Mixed
You
martial
can
arts.
just search for it. You can just search for Cyrus as Cyrus
Exactly.
Brocha coin switch, and you'll find them. Or Cyrus Brocha Pratik Babbar also. You should be able to find them
Okay.
Yeah, or peacocks.
on YouTube.
Because you know me. For me, art is everything. I followed a peacock for 3 weeks. I lived with peacocks and peahens. I totally mastered the act completely. It was a very hot costume, Kunal. You wouldn't last for 5 minutes. The things I've done, I keep telling Aisha, the things I've done vis-a-vis the things you've done in terms of effort, you've gotten away with murder. You just go and eat biryani somewhere, and when 1 hour you tell them pack up and you run away. You have no idea how hard I work physically. The
But then
3 hours
you
to get to
make
the
10
place,
times the
wear
amount of
makeup,
money, Cyrus.
nothing like that, nothing like that. And I really earn whatever
Man.
little money I get. Even the
Yeah.
podcast, I have to work hard because
Mhm.
nobody else is on it most of the time. Yeah. But having said that, I would leave it at for the viewer discretion. Last time we had a election poll, the viewer decided to take your side, which I think is reverse patronizing attitude of life, which should not be encouraged. Silvery,
How many
Yep.
times have you appeared in the
has
Fortune
he
100,
frozen?
Cyrus? Fortune,
Fortune 100.
or whatever it's called,
Big
top
fun.
100 entertainers, how much they earn and all. They
There
come
are only
now. Well,
75
list.
entertainers. Coming the last 25 means no consequence whatsoever because we have only a total of 75. This is a
I
rejected
have never
lawyer,
featured.
83.
I have never
Oh,
featured.
that's because you don't pay tax, no? You don't understand the whole tax structure. This is coming from a guy who doesn't have the KYC done. Huh? Uh,
Yeah.
bro,
All right.
one more?
Yeah. One
Yeah.
more. One more. Uh, this
He's
one comes
falling
in from.
asleep on his own show. Nobody's done this before. Yawned on their own show. We have it on tape. Please loop
All
it
right.
and play it as an ad for the show. Guests, refreshing guests, titillating guests, energetic guests, and just show that. Yeah.
Cool. Cool. This one comes in from Ekta Bhagdev. She says, "Hi, Cyrus and guest.
Hi.
Cyrus,
Cyrus that
what?
guest.
I mean, yeah. So
Sorry.
they
Some
don't.
of
They
the
don't
emails are
always
from
know who
older. They
the
don't know who the guest
next.
is.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
Please
So
understand we are recording the show. Otherwise, you'll have got lots of feedback and it'll be just taking shots at you and me. And
yeah.
that's not happening. That's for another day when you do cock and bull. Huh?
There's hi Cyrus and guest in brackets Kunal. Okay. No.
Oh.
In brackets, Kunal, put by Silvery,
Yeah.
yeah, so your ego doesn't get.
So yeah.
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 Hey, Silvery, we may have to lose that guest actually when we do it sometimes, even on the live ones. But I'm thinking that might affect the ego of the person who's come on. He's like, he's the most famous golfer in the world. He's sitting there and,
Guest.
guest. And Cyrus by name. That's not good.
All
Yeah.
right. Cool. Says, what are your other favorite food shows to watch? What are some of your other favorite food shows to watch?
Will you stop
Cyrus,
yawning?
questions
What?
for
You
you.
can't answer like that. You
No,
can't
but
come on my
it's
show
for,
and yawn.
it's for
And
you also, Kunal.
Silvery shouted him. He can't behave like this.
I mean, it's fine. It's fine. We're almost done. It's all
Name
good.
me one guest who yawned on the show. Name me one guest, Silvery. We don't have a single guest. We've had guests who were
It's
almost in coma.
3:30 in the bloody
Yes. Who
afternoon.
had corona, who did the show with corona in their system, with COVID in their system. Okay?
Yeah.
2 guests. And they were fabulous. As much energy. I mean, they were like, but they pushed themselves. And you have yawned and yawned throughout the show. A show on yourself. And you're a narcissist man. So if you find yourself boring, what do you find the others? You have no right to live. I have to take away your license. What is the question?
Okay, what show? Master Show Australia.
Master of
Me?
Australia, I love.
You.
I also love.
But
Great.
that's
watching.
the first. Now this changed completely.
Yeah, but
It's still
the
great.
first season. All the first 11 seasons with Matt
Those three.
Preston and those other 3 guys.
The
Yeah.
fraudster and Matt Preston and the ball guy. Yeah, okay.
I quite like the current one also. Those are pretty good.
I haven't
That's
watched
actually-
it. I haven't watched it. I'm sure it's good.
Hey, bro, that's
Yeah.
like what we discussed the other day, which is Grand Tour versus Top Gear.
Top
There's
Gear,
a bit
yeah,
of-
it is that for sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, a little less so.
I liked when I was younger, much before Silvery was born in the early 90s, Yank and Cook. He was a super energetic guy.
Yeah.
Called Yank.
Asian guy.
He was like highly energized. I love that guy. He was fun. Then Gordon Ramsay, if he's fighting and abusing, I like those shows because then it's more like
I
a
love
reality
those. Yeah.
show. So that's
Kitchen
fun.
Nightmares and all. Yeah, that's one
So
of my favorites.
obnoxious and arrogant.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
wondering, my favorite show would be Arnob and Gordon Ramsay in the same kitchen. Just having a conversation over a cucumber or something. It'll be just so much fun. And give them knives. Give them knives. Let's see what happens.
Cyrus, do you ever remember watching Vinod Dua do his show on food show on NDTV?
Not food show. I remember Vinod Dua's normal show.
Food show. He was the biggest thing. I used to go, और ये खाना खा के बहुत बेहतरीन है. That's how he used to do it, Very
Vinod Dua
nice.
as Dilip Kumar or Kunal Vijayakar as Dilip Kumar doing Vinod Dua's. Can't say for
Very
sure.
nice. Used to be. Big fan.
Can we
Have you
take one
guys-
final question because I need to urinate? Yeah.
Sure. I'll just ask it. Have you guys ever met Sanjeev Kapoor? Like, what are your thoughts on
They're
his
very
restaurant?
close.
and his
Yeah.
food?
I know,
Sanjeev
not very
Kunal
close, but he's a very good friend of mine.
Best
I know him
friend,
quite
best
well.
friend.
Quite well. Quite well.
Every house party of Sanjeev Kapoor's, Kunal is catering. He's like the guy who serves the drinks and all that. They have a very nice relationship. Very sweet. Kunal, who's your favorite Indian? Who are the top 2 or 3 favorite Indian food people? What is the right word? Food connoisseurs,
Food anchors. Food
food
anchors.
anchors,
or-
whatever. Not necessarily
Well,
chefs.
Rashmi Uday Singh is a
Yeah.
wonderful lady. All of them, they're all sweet. Ranveer Brar is nice. Sanjeev is a really sweet also.
Do you think of yourself
who
as the
else?
best or under the top
Of course
5?
I do.
Or
Number one. I'm number one. Yeah.
what gives
Number
you the
one.
right-
Number one.
what
I
gives
said
you
it
the right-
myself.
You yawn.
I
through the
chose
entire
myself.
show. You yawn through your own show. How dare you be number one? You
Cyrus,
don't know what
after
happens.
this, you will only be.
ऐसी yawn और खाने में क्या है?
No, he's the number one yawner. That's what
Yeah.
I'm trying to say. Yeah,
देखिए ये बिरयानी जो है इसका preparation.
yeah.
Okay, Kunal, we didn't have time to talk about anything else
Thank you
but
so
the
much.
food. Yo, I can't do this. He yawned again. Silver, you saw that. I can't believe this guy. I mean, what you feel? No, there's no anxiety doing the show for you. It's like you're in your bedroom and just playing with yourself. What's going
No,
on?
what exactly is your show, man? I'm just sitting here talking to you as usual.
I can't. Silver, 750 shows. No one's yawned. Not in the studio. Not in their
Yeah.
homes. No one's yawned.
That's true. Yeah.
We haven't yawned. He's been up all night. He hardly sleeps.
Yeah.
Bro,
When you're young people, I'm an old man now.
No, I do yawn. I just hide it. I do. Like,
because
when-
of your beard, you push the beard up like that. And
no,
then-
I just like I'll be yawning, but I'll try not to move my mouth. So be like,
But listen, I was also trying very hard
do
to
that.
hide it. Okay,
You didn't try at all.
you did not.
You didn't try at all. Your mouth was
You
so
went
big,
at
the
it.
whole screen. It was like you're going to eat the screen up. It was
Yeah,
that
in
thing
fact,
was
you-
like Jaws.
I think you might have even exaggerated the yawn a bit. Where if it was a little small, you were like, oh, like so.
Exactly. He definitely didn't
Yeah.
hold back. This is a
Yeah.
guy doing a yawn at 10:30 in the night in front of his family. No, thinking full. Unbelievable. Kunal, you're disgusting. Honestly, I don't know why we feature you, but the fan is Silvery. And
You
members of the
featured me
IBM
because there was no bloody guest. That's why you call me. Every time
That's
you
why
don't
we
have a
feel-
guest to call me.
That is why we feature any guest. That's just our standard. Because we didn't find another guest, you're the guest. That's
You.
always the rule. Whether it's Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, please come on, for God's sake, follow the show. Okay, now he's falling asleep, so we're going to let him go, folks. The show is called Khane Mein Kya Hai. I call the show Puja.
Also, Cyrus,
Uh,
Kunal is right. It does mean what's there to eat. खाने में क्या है?
Of course it
खाने के
is.
लिए
Yeah.
खाने के लिए क्या है?
Is it?
खाने के लिए क्या है?
Akresh,
Not.
Silvery,
Yeah.
you're listening to Cyrus's translation. into
Yeah, no,
Hindi.
I'm just telling you that he's wrong. In fact, about the translation.
He doesn't know
God, I'm
the
gonna start
chant of prem.
I'm going to
Or
start
the
yawning
prem for that
myself.
matter.
Okay, bus enough. You made your point. Now go to sleep. Now get your blanket. Dream of your
I'm
biryanis and have a
going
good
to
night.
do exactly that. And then I'll come to your house. Is there an air conditioned room over there that I can sit in?
No,
No.
there's no space. Can you go to the Sharma's opposite? There's nothing here for you. All right. That's it, folks. We've had enough of him. Khane mein kya hai? Which apparently means what is there to eat. I don't think so. But his great fan and friend, the fraud himself, Silvery, says so. So let it be.
And it's on YouTube. YouTube.
Mat bolo.
Yes.
Until we have a settlement, mat bolo. Don't take that name. Silvery, are we having a settlement or not? This is.
Although we are also
I don't know.
live streaming this on YouTube only.
But
Yeah,
there's
yes,
another one.
on
Yeah,
YouTube.
where-
On
where-
YouTube,
where's our old channel? Give me back my channel.
We're trying to
Where's
get
my
back. We're trying to get back. Hopefully, it should be
channel?
back.
Who can we
any
speak
day.
to? Do you know anyone in YouTube? Kunal?
Amit is speaking to people.
Kunal has so much influence now. You heard Shami Kapoor, Dharminder. Well, big guy, yaar. Big guy should
All
do
dead.
something for us. Like,
Yeah,
watch what
please.
you're saying.
Shammi
Dharmendra is
Kapoor.
very much. Dharmendra is very
Not
much there. How
Dharmendra,
dare you?
man.
Yeah, how dare you say?
Dharam G.
Okay,
Or whatever you.
all right. Let's get rid of him. The guy's brain is not working. He's yawning. He can't remember who's around, etc. So we need to get rid of him right now. It's Vijayakar with an A, and the show is called Khane Mein
क्या
Kuch
है
Nahi Hai. Kya
क्या
hai,
है?
kya hai?
क्या है क्या है क्या है
That's right. You should work for Zomato. I think Zomato is your future. You on a bike delivering food to Zomato with a smile.
I can do it with a car and my driver if you want. Are we leaving the studio or what?
We've already left. We're not
Yeah.
interested in what you have to say now. We've gone. There's
Oh,
nobody
he's
here.
gone. Oh, okay, he went.
He just
Rishi,
left.
stop.
Rishi, I'm telling you, count 13 yawns, 1-3. First half
We'll
he did
put a
yawn,
poll.
second half 13
We'll put a
yawns.
poll. We'll
Please
put a
put a
poll
poll.
for that.
How can you come on a show and yawn so much? You didn't say anything.
Hilarious.
Who does that, man?